Joe, for you, how's it feel going back to St. Cloud? I feel like maybe it's easier when this happens late in the season than maybe early on in the year. But for you,
Yeah.
what's going through your head?
Yeah, I think I'm just excited. Most importantly, these are big 2 games for our group, so just being as prepared as we can for that. I guess on the flip, yeah, I'm excited to see a bunch of people down there that I haven't. Could be just people that are normally around the rink, old teammates, whatever. Just good to see everybody, but yeah, most importantly, the 2 games.
Jack, you've done this homecoming now a couple times. I'm wondering, as you get into the later half of your career, sort of the first half, is it more special? Is it less special? What's it like at this point going?
Yeah, I think it was probably a little more special towards the start of my career, but I just kind of look at it as another weekend on the road, and it's always nice to play in front of a bunch of friends and family back home. So.
How many friends and family do you usually have?
Usually grandparents, parents, friends, my friends. So it's usually a pretty good crowd that shows up.
And is everyone rooting for you and UMD? Or
Yeah.
Same
Yeah, rooting for the Bulldogs.
Rooting for the Bulldogs?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just thinking of poor Sandy going down to Minnesota State and some entire family.
Yeah.
Coach rooting against the Giants there.
Yeah.
Jack, for you, how have you seen yourself grow and develop throughout this season, which so far, you've been, I think the big thing is you've been able to stay healthy. It's allowed you to make a lot of progress.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah.
No. The offensive game hasn't been there completely this year for sure, but I don't know, I can change at any point, I guess. But just with my line mates, Loans and Joe, I think we've been really good defensively for our team, and just kind of not getting scored on, and then just getting chances when they come. And for myself, I think that just ties it all together.
For you, what's been like playing with two veteran players like Loans and Joe?
Yeah, it helps. They both work really hard. I think we cue off each other pretty well, and it just makes the game a lot easier when you go out there.
Feels like your line, and Joe, feel to chip in here, when the 3 of you are together, that's a line that coach trusts a lot when you guys go out there.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Do you feel that you have coach's trust when he sends the 3 of you out there?
Yeah, and I think a big part of it is like all 3 of us play a 200-foot game. Like we understand the importance of the D zone and how playing tight defensively can translate to offense. So I think for us a big thing has been just doing our best to be a really trustworthy line for Sandy and a line that he feels he can put out in any situation.
Bruce, how long was Jack a winger there? How many did you say, 16 minutes?
15, 16 minutes, something
Yeah.
like that.
I think it might have been less than that.
Did you
but-
get a feel for the position at all the very short time you played it?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played a whole lot of wing in my career, but I mean, I can play wherever coach needs me to play. So
How different is that for you?
it's pretty different going from center to wing. I mean, the only different part is just in the D zone, I guess, and then neutral zone offense. You're just you're doing what you know what to do. Like if you're playing center, so it's not too different, but it's definitely a little bit of a switch.
I was lazy and didn't get a chance to go back to your freshman year. Did you play a little wing your freshman year?
I think for a couple games,
Okay.
yeah, I did, but mostly center.
Mostly center.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were your takeaways from last weekend? You get 4 points here in your last home series.
I think, first and foremost, it was fun to celebrate some of the guys who have been here for 4 years, given a lot to this program, and that was really good from a team aspect. I think we realized a lot of things like intercompete stuff. We saw it, just at times getting out-competed, and I think for us it's been a big emphasis this week is just our compete level, and we're getting towards that end of the year where every game's like a playoff game, so just have to keep looking to raise our compete level, especially as a group.
What stood out about last time you guys saw St. Cloud up here in that first 2 minutes?
I think, at that time we were kind of a desperate group looking for a big weekend and a couple wins, and it was fun for us then to kind of put the pieces together and see that happen. And I think, with this another opportunity to go into, a team like St. Cloud, who's another one of those great teams in the NCAA, we just need to keep putting the pieces together, keep building before playoffs, and taking more steps forward as a group.
Do you guys feel desperate now, like you did back then?
Yeah, right. It's exactly. I think anytime you get towards this playoff, right around the playoff time, it's a big moment for groups, and I think for us, it's just to keep building, keep doing those things, and keep raising our compete level.
I know it's probably not a really big deal, but did either of you remember the last time you played on a big sheet that wasn't in St. Cloud?
Mine might have been Waterloo in USHL.
Yeah, it probably was mine too. I would
Yeah.
think that's probably, from what I can remember.
Do you prepare differently? Because it's become kind of a unicorn now in the sport, these big sheets. You just don't see a lot of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's too different of a game. You just got to stay inside the dots. Like, there's a lot of room on the outside, but as long as you're doing what you normally do in the middle of the ice, you'll be fine. So there's a lot more room for offense, and you just can't get caught chasing around for sure.
Joe, are there things, give us some insight of St. Cloud, that when you were there that you guys liked to do to take advantage of that big sheet, things that maybe you could, catch teams on who aren't used to playing on that ice?
Well, I would guess the main advantage would be just over the course of a season, like we practiced on it, 90% of the time. So I think when you're playing there, you get really used to that sheet, and you don't really think about it when you're playing on it. It just feels like a normal game, whereas when you're used to an NHL-sized sheet and then you go and play on the Olympic, it's at first, it's a good thing, we'll get to practice on Thursday and Friday beforehand and feel it out, but it definitely is a big difference, and it's something to get used to. So you always feel like I always hear the forwards say they really like it and the D can't stand it. So yeah.
You have a preference, big sheet or NHL sheet?
I don't. I mean, there's nice parts of both. Like having all the ice in the offensive zone is great, but there's something nice too about not having to skate as much and being able to just go right to the net front and play a little bit tighter of a game. So no, I don't think I have a preference. I think they're both good.
While you guys still feel the same level of desperation, can you feel the difference of what it was like the last time you played St. Cloud versus now back on the road to this final series?
I'd say no. I think it's just another series for us. I think Joe touched on it well. At this time of the year, you just gotta be winning games at this time of the year, and we're just looking to finish the regular season off on the right note and maybe slide into 6th or 7th place. Or we're in 7th right now, but either finish in 7th or if possibly we can slide up into 6th place. So we're just trying to finish on a positive note and get some momentum going into playoffs.
Anybody else? Okay, you guys are good.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That you got a Zam.
He's been good. I mean, obviously, he's a key killer for us. I think that line, older line, it's been most of the year is a good line that can play the game kind of maybe a little bit different than the other guys because they're willing to play down low and keep it simple, and they've had some effective shifts for us. But I think Jack, I'd like to see a little more offense. We see some things in practice that I wish would translate to a game because he's got the ability to produce a little bit more offensively, but I think he's settled into his role and, takes a lot of pride in the penalty killing, and face-offs have been a little bit better. But, yeah, he's had a good year. I mean, he's a guy that certainly I have a lot of trust in. I think defensively he's gotten a little bit better. There were some things early in the year where it's certainly with Jack, never with work or effort, right? Sometimes it's just working a little bit smarter, and that's kind of some of the things we've been working with him just defensively.
It's really because of some of the injuries he's gone through. I feel like he's a guy that has had to work a little bit harder and grind in his 3 years here.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, tough when you play and you're out and get back and you're out. He's had multiple things, whether it's been groins or other injuries that, are just hard to predict. And, I think the groin was a couple years ago where it just, you don't know when it can feel good, but one little play, and those are tough things until you know 100% in your head that it's good. But he's battled through it, and he's done a good job for us.
Which we had 15, 16 minutes. He got it winged a few weeks back there. And was it about him that you think gives him the ability to make...
Well, he's played wing there before for us early in the year, or when he first got here. We had him on wing when he came back from injury, and but he's going to stay in the middle.
That line, him, Joe, and Carter, would you say that's a line that you trust pretty well, that those three are...
Yeah, they need to be a lot better than they were last weekend, but our whole team does. There wasn't one line that I thought played very well last weekend, and but that line's been consistent. They're a line that, like I said, has gotten us going in games because they're willing to chip pucks in and forecheck. Like Loans is one of our best forecheckers. Those guys get after it. They'll play a very simple game. I hope they can produce a little bit more because we're going to need some secondary scoring too. But there's been times they've gone out when we needed a shift to get a puck in and go to work. They were a line that can do that. Now, last weekend they were a little bit off, I thought. But I still, to answer your question, yeah, I have a lot of trust in them because there are three older guys that have played a lot of games, and they kind of play a simple game, and they all work hard, and sometimes you need that, right? And sometimes that's the way you can maybe score goals, right? Keeping it simple.
I know we've talked a lot throughout the year about Joe and what he's brought to the team. What do you think his impact is on these guys the one season?
Well, I hope it's really positive. I mean, he's fit right in since he's come here. I think he's been a great leader in his own way. He's unbelievable on the bench. I think he's a calming influence. He doesn't get rattled, and you can tell that he's got a lot of experience. You can tell he's an older player with that experience, and obviously he came from a great program too, so that helps. But we knew it was important for us to do our homework and know exactly what we were getting, and he's pretty much exactly what we hoped we were getting, right? And it's been a seamless transition for him, I think. For me, I feel like he's been here more than a year, but he brings a lot of intangibles that this team needs and has needed throughout the year.
What were your takeaways from Saturday and last weekend with Miami?
Not very good. We weren't very good, Bruce. Our goalie was great. That was a positive. We weren't very good. And all it was that team outworked us and outcompeted us. They wanted to win. They want to win. They wanted to win more than we did, it seemed like. I thought if we play like that, we'll be done early. That's it. We need to be a lot better than we were. And again, I don't want to take anything away from Miami because they had great stick detail, they competed, they skated, and again, the key word is compete. Compete and hard work, those two words. If our team does that, we can be pretty good, and we've proven that. But if we don't want to do that, and I don't care who you're playing, you don't give yourself a great chance. And I thought Adam had a great weekend for us, so that's a real good thing moving forward. And hopefully, we learn from it and play better this weekend because we're running out of time.
Over the course of the year, you talk all the time about it, as you get deeper and deeper into the season, it can become more and more difficult to score 5-on-5. What have you thought about the 5-on-5 offense that you've gotten from your back end? It feels like your young guys are starting to chip in a little more. From the back end? We need more. We just need more, period. We don't get to the net very well. We need to get more shots through. Our D need to make some better decisions up there. Our forwards need to compete harder. There's a lot of things, but if you're just talking about our back end, it's been okay. I think they need to be a lot more involved in our offense. But I could say the same thing about our forwards. Maybe.
I'd seen him out here. Yeah. Playing Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah.
St. Cloud, you got them a couple times here in January. They've got their goaltender back. I know. What are your thoughts going into this week?
Got to win a game. We want to finish in 7th. There's a lot to play for. There's a lot to play for. Our goal is to get to St. Paul, just like 6 other teams. Like I'm going to say it again. There's 2 teams in our league, 1 for sure that's in, probably 2. The other 6 are in the same boat. They need to keep winning hockey and winning hockey games and hopefully get to St. Paul and do the same thing because that's the way it's shaping up. So we're not any different than those teams. And from a standpoint of going into this weekend, I'm glad it's a little more meaningful, even though I hope our guys understand that. We've talked about it enough that they're meaningful games, and you want to build some momentum going into the playoffs. If we go in there and don't play well and don't win any games, I'm not sure what's going to happen the following weekend. If we go in there and play well, hopefully win a game, get a point, right? Hopefully more than that, but play well, then I'm going to be a little more excited about next week no matter where we go. So we've got to find it. We've got to find it. We'll see. Because they're a good hockey team. They went through a tough stretch, right? They played really well here in the last couple games. They've won a couple games. Like you say, they got their goalie back. So it'll be a good battle. It'll be a good battle.
You talk a lot about compete level. I know a couple of guys just talked about that as well. How would you compare the compete level where they are today versus the last time you guys faced them?
Oh, God. I can't even think that far back. I just worry about the next day, right? We had a great day on Monday. If our guys competed like that, the way they did on Monday in a game, we'd be in good shape. Can't pick and choose, right? Shouldn't just be in practice but not in a game. But I can't answer where they were from then. We'll see on Friday. We'll see on Friday.
Do you look much into the scenarios of what
No. Just worry about trying to win Friday. We got 2 games to play. We're going on the road somewhere. So we played our last home games. That was Saturday. So, and then pretty soon it's going to you got 2 more chances with a couple games. Otherwise and if you keep advancing after that, it's down to 1 game. So these have to be treated the same way. You got to worry about the next game, not who you're playing, or if it's a series, you just got to worry about your next game. And you got to focus on trying to win that game. Good?
Thanks, Scott. Yep.